I'm sure nakita niyo na tong headline na to. The Philippines fertility rate has dropped to a historic low, around 1.7 children per woman. But what I find interesting is not just the number, it's actually the reaction to it. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Jane Yaps, where I sit down and talk about things that have been on my mind lately. And recently, ang news talaga na paulit-ulit kong nakikita sa feed ko is about this low fertility rate sa Philippines. Habang binabasa ko yung comment section, sobrang interesting niya. So I decided to create this video and I want to talk about why more Filipinos are delaying having kids. Back then kasi kapag nakakabasa ka ng mga ganitong articles, especially sa Blue App, iba yung tono ng conversation. Kasi people would quickly blame women or younger generation dahil dun sa choice nila. Pero now, yung tone is different. And nakakatawa kasi there's more understanding as to why people are choosing not to have kids. Hindi na lang siya dahil they are blatantly choosing not to have kids, selfish sila so hindi sila tumutulong sa society or sa economy. It's more about understanding na merong rising cost of living. Hindi lang siya about emotions. It's about practicality and it's about your finances. Kasi if you spend a few minutes reading through the comments, especially yung mga comment galing Gen Z o kaya mga millennials, mapapansin mo na meron siyang pattern. It's not that they don't want to have kids or family. It's just that they're delaying it. Dahil hindi pa nila kaya right now. Gusto mo na nilang maging stable yung buhay nila, yung income nila, bago nila isipin yung pag-aanak. And yung word na yun, it keeps coming up again and again, yung word na stable. And nakakatuwa kasi hindi siya rich. Hindi nila gusto maging sobrang mayaman muna sila bago sila magkaroon ng anak. Gusto lang nila maging stable. And I think it's important and interesting at the same time kasi it means na gusto pa rin naman natin yung milestones na ni-reach ng parents natin back then. It's just that gusto lang natin na mas maging ready tayo para sa kanila. So instead of them asking na, do I want this? Do I want to have kids right now? They are asking, can I afford this? Kaya ko bang tustusan yung gastusin kapag nagkaanak ako ngayon? So kung iisipin mo, hindi na lang siya about having kids. It's actually one generation making different choices. Kasi alam nila na itong mga major life decisions na to, kailangan na niyang dumaan sa checkpoint kasi hindi na sila ganun ka-affordable. And if you zoom out again, it's not just about having kids. Right now, makikita mo na yung mga Gen Z at millennials, dinedelay din natin yung ibang bagay. Hindi lang yung pagkakaroon ng anak. Dinedelay natin yung pagbili ng bahay, yung pag-aasawa, yung pagkakaroon ng mga anak, and yung retirement. And when you sit with this list for a second, mapapansin mo na ito yung mga bagay na nagde-define talaga ng adulthood, di ba? Kasi kapag nagsimula ka na mag-isip na magpamilya, mag-anak, magkaroon ng asawa, magbayad ng para sa property, yun na yung definition ng adulting. Andun ka na sa stage na yon. So now, since we are consciously delaying these things, ibig sabihin, meron talagang change na nangyayari. Kasi, hindi lang sa isang aspeto natin dinedelay yung adulting. Maraming bagay pa. Kasi, alam natin na although milestones tong mga bagay na to, sa economy natin right now, hindi na siya ganun ka-affordable as compared to sa generation ng parents natin. Which makes you stop and think na din kasi it's not just random anymore. It's one generation making different lifestyle choices. For sure, magkakaiba tayo ng dahilan kung bakit natin dinedelay itong mga bagay na to or kung bakit mas gusto natin bilisan na ma-achieve sila. I'm not here to argue na mas tama yung desisyon ng group na to kaysa sa group na to. So let's break down each of these milestones. First, buying a house. Back then, isa sa mga biggest milestone mo pagka-graduate mo is yung pagbili ng bahay. Okay lang kung hindi ka muna magpapamilya. Pero pagka-graduate mo, kapag meron ka ng trabaho, ang long-term project mo na susunod is bumili ng property. Kasi back then, ang iniisip natin, since milestone siya, kailangan natin siyang masimulan. And para mangyari yun, kailangan lang nating bunuin yung para sa down payment. Malaking gastos siya, pero kapag na-overcome mo na yung hurdle na yon, okay ka na. Stable na yung mga susunod na bayarin mo kasi kaya na siyang i-cover ng sahod mo. Pero now, we learned how to run the numbers first bago tayo mag-commit sa pagbili ng bahay or ng property kasi alam natin na long-term project siya. Hindi lang siya basta-basta down payment tapos ang mga susunod na bayarin parang SSS na lang ikakalta sa sahod mo. Kasi alam natin na after ng down payment, it will take us years pa bago natin talagang mabayaran yung bahay na yon at matawag natin siyang atin. At bukod dun sa pag-iipon ng para sa mga bayarin ng bahay na to, life doesn't pause. Madami ka pang kailangan bayaran, kailangan mo magbayad ng renta mo, kailangan mo pa rin tumulong sa family mo. Tapos, bukod pa doon yung mga daily expenses mo. So, even if nandun yung opportunity para ma-reach mo yung milestone na yon, kahit na laging may nagpe-present sa'yo ng property na pwede mong bilhin, it doesn't always make sense. It doesn't make sense right now dahil madami ka pang kailangan bayaran at madami ka pang gustong gawin sa buhay mo. And that's where a lot of people get stuck kasi it's not that they don't want a home, they don't want to get a property, pero because they're asking, if I commit to this now, what else do I have to pause? Dahil there's a possibility na magbago yung isip mo in the future, pwedeng may bagong opportunity na dumating, or hindi mo pa talaga siya afford financially. Pagdating sa pagbili ng bahay, mas nagiging practical na tayo kasi alam natin kung afford ba natin siya o hindi. So, mas madaling mag-yes at mag-no. Pero when it comes to marriage, mas mahirap siya kasi emotions are involved. Kasi syempre gusto pa rin natin ng organic encounter, we still want to fall in love, we want commitment, we want long-term relationship. I think that part hasn't changed at all. Marami pa rin sa atin na yun yung gusto. Pero I think what has changed is everything around it. Kasi dati, para sa akin, mas mura magpakasal. Ngayon, ang mahal niya na. Kasi sabi nga nila, napaka-performative ng mga Pilipino when it comes to wedding. Kasi bago ka pa mag-I do, ang dami ng financial conversation na mangyayari. And yes, wedding themselves can get very expensive quickly. Pero bukod kasi doon, kailangan din nating isipin yung finances natin after natin magpakasal. So yung conversation, hindi na lang siya nagsastop around afford ba nating magpakasal right now, pero are we ready for the life after the wedding? Nakakatuwa makita na right now, mas nagiging vocal na yung mga tao kung paano nila manage yung finances nila as a couple. May mga couples na nagpe-present kung paano sila nagma-money date, kung paano nila dinediscuss yung mga financial goals nila with their husband. And in fact, meron ding iba na tinitingnan nila kung aligned ba sila financially bago sila mag-commit sa isang tao. Ganun na tayo ka-practical right now. So yes, may involved pa rin na emotions, pero malaking factor yung pagiging practical natin when it comes to our finances. And kung nag-a-align ba siya dun sa magiging partner natin in the future. Kasi sabi nga nila, malaking investment din ang pag-aasawa. Kasi totoo nga naman na yung partner mo, it's one of your biggest financial decisions kasi they can propel you to become more financially successful or they can also hold you back. Ideally, you want to choose a partner then na magiging cheerleader mo financially, hindi yung someone na magiging roadblock mo. So those are other factors na pwede natin pag-asapan in another video. And yes, it's super interesting, pero it also means na mas komplikado na siya ngayon as compared to back then. And then after marriage, we get to kids, which is also an emotional topic and a sensitive one. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not that people don't want to have kids anymore. They still want to. It's just that parang mas nagiging advanced na tayo na mag-isip right now. Ang dami na natin kailangan pagplanuhan, yung educational plan natin, yung healthcare, yung daily expenses, yung childcare. Tapos sinasabi nila na paano kapag may sakit pa yung anak mo. Bukod dun sa financial toll ng pagkakaroon ng anak, meron din siyang emotional toll. So, yun yung mga bagay na wini-weigh right now ng mga Gen Z at Millennial bago sila mag-commit sa pagkakaroon ng anak. And more than anything, long-term stability din ang kailangan mo dahil hindi lang naman siya katulad ng property na pwede mong bayaran in 5 to 10 years. It will take you more than that. Kailangan mong itaguyod tong bata na to for 18 years. So even if the desire is there, people pause, people take a step back, not out of fear, but out of awareness. Dahil alam na nila kung ano yung pwede mangyari once nag-commit sila sa pagkakaroon ng kids. And meron pang mas heavy na tanong dun sa can I afford to have kids eh. It's the can I give a child the life that I actually want them to have? Kaya ko bang bigyan yung anak ko ng buhay na gusto ko talaga para sa kanila? Kasi yes, siguro afford mo na magkaroon ng anak right now and mabibigyan mo siya ng buhay na kung ano lang yung afford mo, kung ano lang yung pinagdaanan mo dati. Pero kung gusto mo na something better than that, di hamak na mas malaking gastos yun para sa atin. Lastly is retirement. It feels like something na you hope eventually mararating mo and sana pag narating mo yung stage na yon, maginhawa yung buhay mo. Kasi let's be honest, a lot of us are still supporting family. Minsan kahit nasa 30s and 40s na tayo, sinusuportahan pa rin natin sila. And kasabay nun, kailangan nating mag-save at mag-build ng life ng para sa atin from scratch. Minsan nagbabayad tayo ng utang, minsan naman may mga business venture tayo na gusto nating sugalan. So yung retirement, yes, nasa isip natin siya, pero hindi siya yung priority right now. Kaya saka na natin siya problemahin kapag mas maluwag na yung finances natin. Tapos sasabihin natin next year na lang, tapos yung next year na yun, nagiging next 5 years, next 10 years, hanggat sa yung question na lang natin is, Will I ever feel financially ready to stop working? And another heavy question yun kasi hindi natin alam kung kaya ba natin talaga siyang sagutin at kung kailan natin siya masasagot. Kapag ba nasa 40s na tayo, 50s, or 60s. So there you have it. It's not that people are walking away from these milestones, pero mas mataas na kasi yung requirement para ma-achieve mo itong mga to. Hindi na sila ganun ka-straightforward as compared to sa panahon ng parents natin. What about you? What life milestone are you currently delaying? And kung dinedelay mo man sila, is it your personal choice to delay them? Let me know in the comments. That's it for today. Ciao!